Hi guys, today you're going to learn about 3 different types of lines. As I'm going through each type of line, make sure that you're taking notes on a piece of paper, and you can pause it if you need more time to get a little bit written down. So the first type of lines we're going to talk about are parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that are always an equal distance apart and they never intersect. Intersect means to cross. So notice how these lines right here, they're an equal distance apart, and even if we kept them going on forever and ever, they would never cross. The symbol to write parallel lines are these 2 little lines right here. So we're going to label these lines right here. Line, remember the symbol for line looks like this. Line AB is parallel to line CD. Alright, the next type of lines we're going to talk about are perpendicular lines. And perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. Remember that right angles are 90 degrees and they form these little squares right here. The symbol to write perpendicular lines is this right here. Looks like an upside down capital T. So here we have perpendicular lines AB and CD. They form 4 90-degree angles. They form 4 of those squares. So we're going to label these lines. Line AB is perpendicular to line CD. Alright, and the last type of lines we're going to talk about are intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are lines that cross at exactly 1 point and form 4 angles. So like perpendicular lines, they intersect or they cross, but intersecting lines don't form 90-degree angles. They just form 4 angles that aren't 90 degrees. So here we have a line AB intersecting line CD at point X. And intersecting lines don't have a symbol like parallel lines and perpendicular lines. You just write intersecting. So line AB intersects line CD at point X right here. So this is where they cross each other. All right, make sure you have all that written down, and then we're going to practice a few more. So here we have 3 different types of lines. So first we're going to look at these. And notice that these aren't lines. They don't have arrows on both sides. So that means that these are rays. So when we are labeling them, you have to make sure that you write rays. Write the symbol for ray instead of lines. So here we have ray, O-N. And then these are perpendicular lines. Notice how they form 4 right angles. I couldn't put the squares because I can't write on my wall, but they will form 4 squares. So ray O-N is perpendicular to ray L-M. Alright, our next set of lines, think about, are these parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting? These lines are intersecting because they intersect, but they don't form 90-degree angles. Notice that these have arrows on the end, so these are lines. So line HI intersects line JK at point, and then look at where they cross, where they intersect, and it's point X. Alright, and then our last set of lines, think about, are these parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting? And we know that they are parallel because they're an equal distance apart and they will never intersect. So notice how these don't have any lines on the end. So we know that these are line segments. They have endpoints. So line segment FG is parallel to line segment DE. So now you guys are going to practice some problems like these in your big math book. Make sure that you email your teacher if you need any help or you have any questions.